This is LA Kings Fan Talk, where we know nothing. And now, your hosts, Rodney, Rob, and Mike.
What is up, Kings fans? Well, 5 out of a possible 6 points over our last 3 games, but against some stiff competition.
That's what she said.
Right. Mike, how was watching the Lightning game tonight in Tampa Bay from Minnesota?
That was nice. It's still early here, so I mean it's like perfect timing up here. You know, game's over. It's 9:00. Had to watch my iPad. That was all right, but ESPN Plus came through for me. That was a hell of a game, though.
It was. What'd you think about that non-call at the end of the game?
I missed that. I just saw him fall down. I missed the trip, and I shut it off because I was pissed off, so I didn't go back for a replay. So I missed it. I just thought he fell. So it was an actual trip?
Yeah.
Skate to skate.
Skate to skate. Skate to skate. I didn't see the... Supposedly, Arvidsson and Quick try to stay out there forever and trying to get the refs to turn it over, but it wasn't on TV. I don't know.
How's this? It was 10 times more of a trip than Corey Perry falling down, drawing his stupid ass penalty.
Right.
Oh
there was
my God.
There was like another step for Corey Perry, right? And then he fell.
Twice though. He's so freaking irritating.
It's the worm, man. That's what he does.
Yeah. Rent free. He's living right here, rent free. If there's anybody in the league that lives rent free, it's Corey Perry.
It's funny, you know. He changed his jersey. It doesn't bother me that much anymore.
No, he still bothers me.
Yeah, just look at his face, man. Him and Bozeman were the 2 worst for me.
Oh, they're the worst.
They're just absolute 2 worst right there.
The worst. And if any of you guys disagree, it's because you're probably Duck fans.
Yeah, closet Duck fans.
Yep, closet Duck fans.
Yeah.
And in any kind of Duck hate is basically LA Kings fan talk, right?
Oh yeah.
So just the stare, the stare after Zegras, he makes me want to throw up when I look at him. He's just turning into that asshole that I'm going to hate for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
But when he did it, he stared like just there's this love that he had for whoever scored it. But I don't think I like Zegras. I'm mad that we didn't pick him.
Right. Rob, what are your thoughts on tonight's game?
Let's open up a road trip. Extreme East Coast against a really good team. Obviously, Stanley Cup champions back to back, right? Getting a point is always good. Disappointed the trip wasn't called. Disappointed Kopitar didn't finish. But not disappointed in getting a point from a very good team, start the road trip. There's so many other ways you can start that worse, right? Not winning, having multiple injuries. We did have one. We lost Anthony.
Yeah.
It seems. Hopefully it's not serious.
Right.
But all in all, I will take a point every day, twice on Sunday, to start a road trip with the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I thought Kopitar looked good tonight too.
He had a little jump in his step tonight for sure.
He's more active than he's been the past couple games.
Yeah, I think he heard the podcast where Rob called him out for taking a couple games off.
He
stepped it up.
He's my favorite player.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be Mr. Positive. I'm right now just Kings are a couple games above 500. We're starting to play pretty well. I'm happy. We could go down a whole list. I don't know if you want me to save it for or whatnot, but Jonathan Quick, we should start talking about this early and not later as a side note. Jonathan Quick is the shit.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
He's back.
You know, it's funny too. I was like I told you guys, I was listening on the Lightning feed, and they had a lot of good things to say about Kings players. I mean, they were hyping up Kopitar. Like that play in 3-on-3 where I think Sorelli tried to go in the corner with Kopitar
And he just
the
bullied him off of
yeah,
the
yeah,
puck.
and the
Yeah.
guy was the Lightning guy was like, yeah, you don't want to go in the corner with Kopitar that type of play. He's going to take that puck away 10 out of 10 times, and I was like, oh
Nice,
wow.
nice.
And then they were talking about Quick, and they're like, yep, vintage Quick. He's back in true form, looking great. And I was like, oh, you guys are really pumping our tires, like it. And they were talking about Dowdy a lot too. So, and then, but they were talking the whole time like, oh, these aren't the Kings we remember seeing 2 years ago. Straight up and down the ice. There's a lot of 5-on-5 play. They're moving around the offense very well. So, a lot of good
So
things to say from the Lightning.
so I'm watching the game tonight, and I'm like, man, I remember just a couple of years ago we couldn't even keep up with this team,
Yeah.
and now they're trying to keep up with us, during a lot of the game. So I'm thinking about, it's crazy how we're kind of a faster skating team now. And sure enough, like a minute later, Jim Fox comes on and talks about how it's one of their coaches. He said, yeah, the Kings are a fast skating team. I'm like, oh, sounds familiar, but it's good to hear. After being the slowest team in the league for what, 5 or 6 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's more to say about Quick.
There is.
He's played 3 straight games. Deservedly so. Deservedly so. His numbers are not good. They're great right now. But what I'm asking is it vintage Quick? When people use the word vintage to describe it, means that he's old. But is he vintage Quick because he is platooning? He has not had a heavy workload to start the first 27 games of the season. So, is he that good because of the limited play? Or is it something, screw it, he needs to play every game except for the back-to-backs and start putting the load on him?
The second thing you said, I think when they were platooning, he wasn't playing quite as well. Once he started getting a little more playing time over Peterson, he's stepped up his game. And I don't even know when you put other than a back-to-back situation, I wouldn't even put Cal in right now, the way Quick is playing. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I mean, if you ask me who I want to start on Thursday, it's going to be Quick, right? And he deserves to start again. I mean, Stamkos had 2 or 3 breakaways and no goals.
Yes.
Yeah, and here's what's good about when the old guy is playing well as opposed to the young kid. The only thing you got to worry about the young kid is, does it hurt? Does it stunt him in any way? And I don't think it really does. But if it was the old guy not playing well, that's when you sit there and say, well, you still got to give him his chances. He still's got to play every couple games because Quick can find it. He can find it. Right now, there's no, hey, let's give Peterson a game again. Let's give him a game so he can. We don't care if he finds it because Quick is playing so well, and Peterson had got plenty of time. We have him for years now. So
why don't you speak from experience on that? When you guys played on Top Gun and you're the older guy and you were totally outplaying Mike, did that stunt his growth as a hockey player, or?
2 different positions, man. 2 different positions. With everything going on, do you think the way Quick's playing, you think Team USA's keep an eye on Quick?
Well, okay, let's talk about that stuff.
That's another. Is that even going to happen with COVID going rampant?
I think Quick, especially in an Olympic situation, because he's that type of guy, 100% deserves to be on Team USA. He is a top U.S. goalie.
Yeah.
However, as far as USA goes, what you have Hellebuck, you have Gibson. Did you see on today's game? They listed Quick, Hellebuck, and I'm missing
save percentage, right?
Who
was it? Save percentage they were talking about?
Yeah, there's someone in even strength save percentage.
Right.
The top 3 goalies in the league in even strength save percentage right now are all U.S. goalies.
Right. But yes, I'm kind of with you. I think he deserves to be on the team based on his play this year. But as a Kings fan, I don't want to risk injury. So
Right.
I'm
So
kind of
really don't
kind of
care
like I
if-
don't want him to make it, even though he deserves to.
Right.
Well, what even about, I mean, in addition to that too, I mean, it seems like a lot of, or not a lot, but some of the players are speaking out about the whole, if they catch COVID, they're stuck there for like 3 to 5 weeks in China. I just read on like Twitter the NHL PA was like starting to talk to the players about that.
Can't be good enough to make Sweden.
I think so, especially in a bottom six role, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good this year.
Doughty. Team Canada. We talked a little bit about that already, right?
Yeah.
Last podcast. But
I mean, he's looked good this season, and I mean, if you go points per game, I think the top of the league points per game for defensemen.
But that's another situation, just like Quicks. There's so many other options.
Yeah,
I did like, I forget who was saying it. I was watching TV, and some analyst, former player, was talking about the Doughty situation. And 100%, oh, you know what? It might have been Bissonnette in the Jablonski interview. He's if he's equal with some of these younger guys, 100% take Doughty over any young defenseman that's really, really good, simply because Doughty can turn it on. He's veteran enough to be able to turn it on in big moments. No big moment is too big for a guy like Doughty, who has won 2 Stanley Cups and has played in the Olympics and succeeded and everything. So why wouldn't you want that on your Olympic team again? Doughty, all the things that I say bad about Doughty, bottom line is he's the shit. He's a stud, 100% stud, and there isn't any situation I think that is too big for him. He will perform anywhere, anytime, if he wants to.
and I feel like he performs better in those situations, right?
Yeah.
Another thing too, I was listening to Elliot Friedman, and he had mentioned that like when it comes to these rosters, they like players that have already been there
Right.
because it's such a short tournament, it's such a short turnaround that you don't want somebody to get like shell shocked by the Olympics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, who else on Team Canada was there the last time they won a gold medal on the defense? Just Doughty, right?
I don't know. I don't follow Canada. I'm an American.
So if Doughty does make the team, would you guys go and start up a Drew there it is chant?
No, because and I'm being serious, I will not root for Canada. No matter how many Kings play on that team, no matter how many I'm not. I actually hope there's one side of me that hopes Doughty makes it because it might be something he wants, and being a cornerstone of the Los Angeles Kings, I want nothing but the best for him, and I want his happiness. But I couldn't care less if he's not on the team, because I'm not rooting for Canada.
Merca.
Plus, I think it's like a win-win too, right? Because then if he goes, he has a great experience. Like you said,
Right.
he's happy. He'll probably win a medal. So he's going to come back with positive. If they don't pick him, he's going to be even more pissed off. And you may get like let me show you what you guys are missing.
Ooh, that's a good point, Mike.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, let's hope he doesn't make it now, and he feels snubbed and
Right.
scorned.
Yeah.
And we all know there's nothing worse, no worse wrath than a woman scorned, right?
And then Team USA beats Team Canada, and then
There you go.
Doughty's looking at USA with the gold and Quick's coming back with the gold. He'll be super pissed.
They start thinking about dual citizenship, pulling a Brett Hall.
So and that's okay. We'll talk about another snub who needs to do that. Brent Clark. Is this
Right.
is
Yeah,
this for real?
That was a definite snub.
Yeah, he's
Is that
definitely
for
on the
real?
roster,
They're
right?
really not going to put him on a World Junior?
It's all politics, man. It's all politics.
Okay, you argue that he's not the best defenseman in World Junior. Go ahead, argue that. You can't argue that he's not in the top 5.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this does the same thing. He feels scorned and all this stuff, and he comes out and he becomes the best defenseman in the NHL for the Kings for the next 10
That
years.
absolutely blows me away.
And then he goes dual citizenship.
He
plays for
needs
Team
to he
America.
needs to come to the Kings. He needs to come to Ontario now. Get his citizenship for America, become an American citizen, play for Team USA, and every time he plays Team Canada, he needs to just two-hand slash
Yeah,
every single person he can in the face.
just giving the crowd the birds, you know.
Yeah.
Mike, are you gonna get your Kachuk Team USA jersey?
Yeah, it's something to chew on.
And which one?
I'll get
Hey.
the Brady one so I could bite it.
All right, let's talk about Brendan Lemieux, his return from his suspension, and
How many games has it been?
how many
Tonight
games
was
has he been
his
back?
fourth game back? Third game back.
Third.
And do we have points in all three games?
I don't think he got any points tonight. Did he?
What? No. I'm
no,
saying.
no.
Oh,
the
we.
team
Yes,
gets
yes,
one.
yes, we do.
Yeah.
He's
Well, then I think we're done talking.
yeah, we're done.
And a water bottle squirt too, right?
You want
Yeah, that was awesome. That was talk about rent free, right?
right?
That's so awesome.
And why do all those guys hate him? Is there a past there too? What was that about? Because I don't know about past history with the
I
Wild.
just think he's the new Sean Avery, man, and everyone's got something out for him now.
Did we lucked out that much to get both Sean Averys? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. The police are probably going to show up at his house and he's answer door, say oink oink.
So as much as Rob loves Tom Wilson, you're saying that more hockey fan bases hate Brendan Lemieux than they hate Tom Wilson in the NHL. Is that what you're saying, Mike? Hockey fan
maybe.
bases as a whole.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would want Tom Wilson. on
No,
their
no,
team.
no. A lot of people would want both these people. I'm talking about when they're not on your team, and you hate them because they're not on your team.
I think they hate Tom Wilson a little more because he scores more and he
Beats people up
ass
more.
Yeah, oh my
Yeah.
God.
He's a
Takes his
beast.
shirt off and flexes on people.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Landon back,
Yep.
and I like him. I was sad to see him go in the first place.
Right. Well,
Glad we got him
line him back, and not the worst defenseman on our team right off the bat.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Do you guys think he? Do you like his game over Clegg's game?
Ty.
I think it's tie, but I think it's tie with more size, right?
I just need to see a little more Will Lannon, but I like what he brings to the game.
I do, yeah.
I'd rather have him out there than Mata,
Mata had a good game tonight.
which initially was going to happen. Will Lannon was going to be on the bench until Mikey Anderson got his non-COVID sickness.
Who was the worst defenseman
Over
These last
the
three
course of the last 3 games,
over the course of the last 3 games? Who was the worst defenseman we have?
I would say Matty Roy overall.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I know he had an almost goal assist off of the jersey of Arvidsson
Yeah.
tonight, but overall, I would say he's been the
Who
worst.
was the best defenseman over these last 3 games?
I'm gonna say Tobias Bjornfoot. Maybe not on the scoreboard, but the way he's playing,
Okay.
he's stepping it up for a young kid. Kind of hurts having Edler gone, but I think he's gonna stick around and mentor him from the sidelines or something. I heard so.
Mikey?
Real quick, just today's game, I did see a lot of really good. What I liked from most of the defensemen was really aggressive poke checks to keep the puck in the zone. Bjornfoot had one, Dursey had one, Doughty had one, where they all they could have easily backed off, but they kind of stepped up, poked it back into the zone instead of backing off and letting Tampa take the puck. So it's pretty aggressive and well played.
The other thing I like is just our defensemen stepping up and getting involved offensively over the last 6 or 7 games here.
Mike, who's the worst defenseman?
It's Roy. I agree. I think Doughty was the best. Roy was the worst. But I don't, Roy's making there was 2 plays where he had the puck behind the net, and I don't know if he was trying to do a drop pass but he passed it behind himself off the board, and it kind of went right back.
That did our first goal of the game today. That led to the first goal.
Yeah,
It
right.
kept the puck in our zone, and then it extended, took the penalty, delay penalty, they scored.
All
then he did-
because of that play with Roy. Yes.
And then he did it again later in the
Right.
game too, right?
Yeah.
And I don't understand what he's going for. Like maybe like a skilled player's doing a move and he's trying to replicate that move and he doesn't have the skill set to do that. It seems like his bread and butter was like just keep it simple, stupid. Like he would take the puck and pass it up as quick as possible, and he would just get the puck off his stick as quick as possible, and he just made simple defensive plays, and that's all he needed to do, and he did it well. And then now I think he's trying to like take another step, and it's not going well, and it's leading to mishaps on the ice.
I agree with you, Mike. And it hasn't really been too bad with Roy the last couple games. Not going to complain too much, winning a couple games and getting a point in another. But Doughty has been good. He's been our best defenseman.
You're so positive tonight, Rob.
I feel like the comparison that just popped in my head is like Roy just needs to be like Scuderi, right? Like make the simple play, good defensively, good stick, but he's trying to venture a little out of that zone, like I guess further himself, and I just don't think he's that good of a player.
He's just an in-betweener for me as far as he's not big enough to be
physical,
real physical. And I'm just not sure if he's skilled enough to be that skilled person. He's not a small guy by any means, and he's definitely not some all thumbs, 2 left feet guy. He's got he's just not defined yet.
So Rob, if we could trade either Walker or Roy this offseason for the exact same return, who would you trade out of those two?
Roy, because Walker's upside offensively.
I would say the opposite, because we have Walker replacements. Dursey, Clark, like those are Dursey now, Clark future, right? Like those guys will be more talented than Walker, right?
Fans of the podcast, I need you to take note right now. This is not the first time he has tried to sneak Dursey into his speech here. Mike is slowly falling in love with Mini Doughty. Okay. He thinks Dursey is just Doughty, just lighter, 20 pounds lighter.
Doughty light,
yeah. So I noticed your little Dursey love.
But am I wrong?
Any right-handed defenseman with dark hair, you think you are.
Is that your next Kings jersey, Mike?
No, I just keep tacking on weight. I'm slowly turning into Matt Green. So,
it didn't happen tonight, but fourth line stuff. Grundstrom, I was hoping the fourth line would get something going tonight, whatnot, but they didn't.
Are you missing Blake Lizotte, Rob? Is that what you're missing?
I'm just missing 4 lines going out there and doing something just so demanding, I guess.
I feel like
I never thought I'd say this, but I kind of miss Blake Lizotte because I feel like him and Lemieux have built up some chemistry, and at the very least, Blake Lizotte will draw penalties and will draw Lemieux into getting crazy with the other team, which is kind of funny to me. So,
yeah, I think if you're comparing Lizotte to Moore at center, I think Lizotte's got the upper hand. So either Moore or Grundstrom, one of them needs to come out of lineup to get Lemieux or get Lizotte back at center.
I have talked about Moore playing center. I like the move. I like the move to him going to center.
hey Rob, why don't we get into talking about the Kings' organizational depth?
Watching, AHL package. Thank you, brother. Get to watch the rain games on TV. And the last couple games,
Rodney, I'm going to become Rodney's best friend right now. Martin Firk is absolutely NHL ready right now.
That guy's basically a grandpa, right, Mike? He should be like in some AARP senior league. He doesn't deserve another shot in the NHL. Doesn't matter if he's destroying the NHL. Am I right, Mike?
I hope they bring him up. I hope they bring him up and he plays 10 games and scores 1 goal.
Anthony
Well, only Mike would root against the Kings. See that?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
That's the kind of.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. He's basically in Minnesota.
Let's talk about Martin Frick. Yeah. No. Okay. Keep going.
He's a man down there, and he should be. He's a lot older. He's a lot more experienced, but he's down there and he is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. He's really, really good right now. He has found something in his game, and I'm liking every second of it. I'm ready for him to come on up.
I don't know if you've watched any Rain games this year, Mike, but yeah, he's looking really good.
Do you guys know who the AHL MVP was last year?
Yeah, Tynan.
Yeah, and then he was doing really good on the Rain too, right?
Okay.
How do you do for the Kings?
Well enough.
Okay. Cool. So bring up Firk. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh no, let's just keep on playing Kapari because he's doing so great, right?
Right. Can't hold on to the puck.
You're the Kapari lover. Kapari's just awesome, right?
So we're just never gonna play the kids then?
And we're never going to play our assets. He's an asset, regardless of his age. He's an asset.
Even if you want to get rid of him, put him out there, let him score a bunch of goals, and then trade him.
All right, so bring him up, and they'll play 10 games. They'll score 1 goal, and then they'll send him down, and then some other team that needs AHL depth is going to claim him on waivers.
Okay, and then we won't have to talk about him ever again, and you should be happy about it.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about organizational depth, you're just going to lose a piece. So that's fine. I'm all for it. Let's bring him up.
Wait, if Firk had longer hair, was younger, right-handed defenseman, and was a right-handed defenseman, would he be?
I'm on your team. I'm on your side.
Now you are, because I
said bring him up. Bring him up. What do you want me to say? Bring him up.
Like I said, watching him play, I think he could come up and actually contribute more than 1 goal in 10 games.
I just think he'd really help on the power play. Which would really help.
Kachev is doing everything he's supposed to be doing down there right now too. Yep. And I would have no problem Kachev and Firk coming up for Kaliev and Kupari.
You make those moves. Who's the third line center?
Elias Anderson.
Okay. More. Lazat's coming back, so that fourth line spot's going to be back. Going to be gone.
Trevor Moore to third line center, and when Lazat take back fourth line center.
You guys are. I feel like you guys are looking at the short term for the Kings. I'm looking at the long term. The only way Kupari is going to be better at this point is if he continues to play. Kaliev could probably go down because he needs to play top 6 minutes.
Short term leads to long term.
I just don't see Kupari back in the AHL is not going to do much for him. He needs to be playing NHL games. He needs to be
continue just to fail here in the NHL. I get it. No, I get it because that's really going to do well.
He needs to continue to grow.
All right. Let's say for some reason,
not on our dime.
Let's say for some reason, Mike's doom and gloom theory about Firk doesn't come to fruition the way he wants to. Comes up and he actually does really good, and we start winning a bunch of games, become a really good power play team. What would you say at that point, Mike? Would you make us some excuse for it, or would you be like, I was wrong, I crow,
congratulations,
whatever?
You guys are right. The Kings are winning. Great. Right?
But you're not happy about it. So
but I just don't see it. I just don't see it playing out. So that's just my opinion.
I talked about that. Yeah. I'm saying if it did work out, positively instead of the negative light that you're putting on it, then what? Would you be able to turn the page and say, what?
I'm the positive one of the
You know what I'm positive of?
Does it make you feel better when you actually say it?
No, I'm positive that if this was like in person, if we were sitting around a table, I'd get up and slap you right now, Mike. That's what I'm positive of. Open-handed too, not closed fist. Open hand slap.
All right. What else, Rob?
Do we want to talk about
how we're one of the few organizations in the last 10 years that have 2 Stanley Cups, and all these teams like the Maple Leafs and the Sharks and
The Canucks.
the Canucks, all these teams that sit there and try and talk shit. Their fan bases try and come and talk all their shit to us Kings fans, and even East Coast bias bullshit when they try and shit on the Kings. They act like if the Kings haven't won 2 Stanley Cups recently, and I'm talking within the last decade. So if you're listening, more than likely you're a Kings fan. Be proud. Be proud to be a Kings fan right now too, because we have the hardware. I'm so sick of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, when's the last time they won a round? How long has it been?
Exactly. They're famous for being choke artists. That's what they're famous for right now.
Right. Even though the Sharks are trying to steal that title for them for many, many, many years.
Yeah. Well,
Let's talk about our next couple games coming up. So Thursday night, we're playing the Panthers.
we talked about how these next 8 games, 3 games ago, are going to make us and break us, right?
Yes.
And we're in that 8-game streak against good teams. Are we 2-0-1?
We were 2-0-1.
Yeah.
Were we including the Stars in that, or was that just because they were a hot team at the time?
Yeah,
They were a hot team at the time.
They're a
yeah.
hot team.
Yeah, them and the Wild were two of the hottest teams. So that was impressive.
Yep. And we got no love in any of
we
the
won't.
broadcasts or anything like that. They're,
No.
we just snap streaks like nothing, and no one wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Canada, East Coast analysts, they feel about the Kings the same way Mike feels about Martin Ferk. Just like it doesn't matter how good they do, no love.
Yeah, and they're all sitting back there saying exactly what Mike said. They're saying, "Okay, we'll watch the Kings go, make a little push, but nothing will happen.
Eventually, they'll fail. They'll fail.
And then where we're at? I told you so. I told you."
Right. Rob, there's a hockey story you told me about, and I believe this happened in Vegas with you talking with a lifelong Canucks fan. Do you remember that story?
Yeah, for sure.
And
he went away from the conversation with a newfound respect for Kings fans.
Right, because he's one of the reasons why one of the mottos for our show is called "We Know Nothing," because the outside world are like LA hockey fans. You guys know nothing. What?
He was blown away that I was sitting there talking about the 4th line of the Vancouver Canucks.
Right.
Remember, I want to say it might have been. You're gonna have to look this up. It was either the last game in the Forum or the last game I went to in the Forum against Ottawa.
Yes, I know exactly.
there
I was
was
there with you.
Yeah, there was like 300 penalty minute craziness.
Oh, not that one. Not that one.
Oh, you mean
that
when
too.
What are you talking about when we got escorted out?
No. Were you at the game with me where they zoomed in on the girl like right on the glass and she flashed the entire crowd,
Yeah.
and then they zoomed on like Larry Robinson's face because he was our coach at the time, and he was like all red and laughing. That was just the funniest thing ever.
No, but for a while there, we would scrap with Ottawa.
Every time we played, it would just be a bench clearing ball.
Why do we hate
like
each other so
Visnovsky
much?
would be out there like fighting people. It was
Right.
just absolutely insane.
It's like we play each other twice a season. That's it.
That's back when Chara was on the. Right? I don't know who.
Yeah, just
Kings had like 3 players on him. I don't know, but yeah.
And I just remembered the last time Ottawa came to the Forum, it was real chippy. And then the first game in Staples was real chippy. I mean, like it carried into the new barn and everything. It was kind of cool. But I don't know. I used to like watching Ottawa a lot.
We talked about Florida Panthers on Thursday, and you went off on some tangent about how you were on the ice and you threw rats onto the ice back in the Scott Mellenby days or something. I don't know. But yeah. So we got the Florida Panthers on Thursday, and we have maybe Carolina on Saturday, depending on COVID issues.
Yep.
I don't know.
So we got back-to-backs though, right? We go Panthers Thursday, and then we go Saturday, Sunday. We go Hurricanes, Capitals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are probably the 3 best teams in the East. Suck on that, Toronto.
But we're getting them. But Barkov's hurt, right? Is Barkov hurt?
Don't know.
I think Barkov's hurt. So we might get them without Barkov. I'm gonna look that up right now.
So let's say we win Thursday night against the Panthers with Quick and Net. Who do you play Saturday and who do you play Sunday?
I go Peterson Saturday, Quick Sunday.
Why?
Who played who already the first time?
I think Quick played. Sorry. So we'll get him. We'll get Panthers without Barkov, which, I mean, increases our chances of pulling off a W.
Peterson was in net for Carolina loss 5-4.
But I feel like Quick played against the Capitals, right?
And Quick was in net, gave up only the 1 goal. They scored an empty netter and we lost 2-0. I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So do you let them go at it again, or do you flip flop them?
I'd flip flop them.
Let Quick have a shot
Change
at the Hurricanes, and okay.
I'd only go the other way because then that means if Quick goes again Thursday, then that's like 5 games in a row for him, right? Because he's did 4 or 5 games in a row, right?
Well, yeah,
So
right now
I'm
it's
like-
3. Right now he has 3 games in a row.
So if he goes again on Saturday, then that'd be his 5th game in a row.
But
Right.
he's from the old school. He can handle it. I don't want to give him any back-to-backs, but
But that's a long time for Peterson to go without starting, is what I'm saying.
right? And it's been a long time since Peterson's got us a win, so might be good for us.
A Rain player called a live Rain player called every season ticket holder, and
That's right.
Nick got a weird number and he let Google like screen it. And when he saw who, that someone was talking to it about the Rain stuff, he goes, hello, and move rare. So he goes, hello, and then he was reading already still. So he still thought he was talking to a
Answer machine?
answer machine. And then my brother's going, oh, hey, Jacob, it's, how you doing? And he goes, oh, okay. And he said he chatted with him for 10 seconds and said Merry Christmas and thank you very much for calling. That was nice of you. And he said he was good. He was a cool kid, nice kid. I think that's awesome that the Rain are doing that.
It is cool.
That is real cool.
Let's talk about this really quick. Are we going to have to go out and just pick up some random defensemen from some beer leagues? Because we're running out of defensemen.
No.
Now that we put Wolanin up, if
Talking about the Rain?
if the juniors goes on, the Rain, yeah. If juniors goes on and Helger Grans is gone, like, what are we? Are we down to like 5 defensemen? What are we doing?
They have some, don't they? I saw some random name that was scratched to defenseman because I saw some random name scratched from the Rain, the defenseman.
You sure? Because we're really low on defensemen, but
Yeah, they definitely are. How long do you think Byfield's down there for?
I don't. Oh, so back to that. To me, NHL ready skaters, and it's all about skating. If you listen to Jim Fox, right? But Kachev, Firk, Byfield, who actually wasn't scoring anything, but he just looked faster and better than everybody. The last 2 games that I watched him,
who did?
Byfield.
Yeah.
He looked good, man. He looked real good.
I'm gonna
And
call
then-
it. I'm gonna say Byfield gets called up before Velarde does.
Fagamo and Akil Thomas have been looking really good. And then Madden's starting to find his game some.
Yeah, he's been scoring a lot, right?
So, we didn't really talk about organizational depth in depth,
Yeah.
but I mean,
See-
think about that. And that's not even talking about Velarde, Dudas, Burke. There's this kid, Braden Burke, that's doing really well. I mean,
So that right there is exactly my point. So there, you just named like 6 forwards that all need to get some sort of taste to see what it's like in the NHL, and B, see if we have any gold there.
Exactly. So the faster you bring up guys like Firk, and if it doesn't pan out, the sooner you bring those kids up. All right, everyone. that is our show for today. Don't forget to high stick that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Till next
Holding
time.
the stick.
Holding the stick, yeah, definitely holding the stick. Anyway, till next time, go Kings!
Go Kings.
Go Kings.